Hi, I'm Kimberly Cherry. My presentation is called Libraries, Essential Resources for All. I did my observation hours at a library close to my hometown. On my first visit, I was extremely impressed to find out just how many resources the library has to offer. In my presentation, I am going to go over some things that I observed, including the virtual chat, research requests, phone calls requesting information, librarians helping patrons find books, the memory lab, patrons' use of laptops and desktop computers, the library of things, and the fact that the library is a warm, dry place for patrons. The first thing I was able to observe was a virtual chat, which is interesting because we just finished learning about the virtual chat in class. The library associate that was participating in the virtual chat did everything perfectly. I was so impressed with the way she greeted the patron, clarified the question, provided a thorough answer, made sure the question was answered completely, and asked if there was anything else she could help with. While sitting and observing the reference desk, I was able to observe lots of different research and information requests. We had patrons come in asking for help, and we also had patrons calling on the phone. A couple times, patrons called on the phone and asked for political information. The library associate that I was observing the first day was very helpful. She took all of the information the lady wanted. She wanted some information on somebody in the Michigan House of Representatives. The library associate did all of the research for her. She organized information in onto a nice table. She waited for the lady to come in. She showed it to her on the computer screen and made sure it was exactly what she wanted before she printed it out. There was another patron who called on my second day of observation and was asking all sorts of random facts. They were asking about information on a past president, and I can't remember what president it was, but the librarian told me that that person calls quite often just looking for random facts to be answered. Finally, a lot of patrons came in looking for specific books, and what I loved was that the librarians took time to not just point in the direction where they could find the book, but they actually walked with the patrons over to the area and helped them search for books, making sure they were able to find exactly what they were looking for. One of my favorite things about the library that I did my observation hours at was something called the Memory Lab. The Memory Lab is a room in the library that patrons can reserve and rent out by the hour, and it is a place where they can preserve memories. Some things they can do is convert VHS tapes to DVDs, VHS tapes to MP4s, audio cassettes to MP3s. There's a scanner in the room for papers and pictures. And there is a device that changes photo slides to digital files. There are technology pages available for assistance if the patrons need any help using these different machines. At the library, I observed at patrons are able to come in and use either laptops or desktop computers. They're not available just to patrons, they're available to anybody who wants to come in and use these devices. Laptops can be checked out and used in the library or in a special study room, and desktops can be used out in the open area of the second floor of the library. One of my other favorite features of the library I observed at is called the Library of Things. There are so many things available for checkout. These items are checked out just like library books. Patrons can reserve them with their library card or come on in and take them off the shelf. Some things available in the Library of Things are a telescope, a disco ball, laptop computer, camera, yard games, a sewing machine, a stud finder, a measuring wheel, a projector and movie screen, a laminator, and a karaoke machine. Many of the patrons at the library I was observing are homeless. To them, the library is a warm, dry place. It's a safe place to read and relax. There are so many resources available and so many librarians willing to help. The most important thing I learned this semester through these observation hours is just how essential libraries are for communities. Thank you for your time in viewing my presentation.